but I never expected to read the message that would break something inside me forever. "You're not our priority right now." That's what my parents texted me on my birthday. While they were sitting across from me at the dinner table, I invited them too. I just froze, staring at those words like they weren't even real. And maybe the most painful part is that they didn't even look up, didn't even notice that my entire world had just cracked. They were too busy laughing with my sister, who wasn't even supposed to be there in the first place. Tell me honestly, would you have stayed at that table after receiving a message like that? Would you have sat there pretending everything was okay? Because that's what they expected me to do. That's what they always expect me to do. And that night, I decided I wasn't doing it anymore. So I left them a note and I walked out. But before you judge me or tell me I should have handled it differently, let me tell you the whole story, because this didn't start at that dinner. This started years ago, and I just didn't see it clearly until that moment. Growing up, I was always the easy kid. That's what my parents used to call me. My sister, Lily, was the whirlwind, loud, dramatic, constantly in some kind of trouble, and because of that, she always got the attention. If she wanted something, she got it. If she failed something, she was comforted. If she made a mess, it was excused. And me, I learned early that staying quiet kept the peace. If I needed something, I waited. If I wanted attention, I swallowed it. If I was struggling, I solved it myself. And whenever I tried to bring up the imbalance, my parents would wave it off with the same lines. "Lily needs us more right now. You're older, be understanding, stop making everything about yourself." So I got used to not being a priority. I told myself it didn't matter. I told myself being independent was a good thing. But I didn't realize how deeply those patterns were etched into my life until much later. Fast forward to this year. My birthday was coming up, and for once I wanted something simple. I wanted a dinner. Just me, Mom, and Dad. No chaos, no drama, no last-minute emergencies revolving around Lily. I wanted a night where I wasn't overlooked. A night where the spotlight didn't automatically shift to someone else. So I asked them weeks in advance. They said yes, they promised they'd be there, and for the first time in a long time, I actually felt excited. I made reservations at a restaurant I'd been wanting to try, cleaned my apartment like I was preparing for royalty, and even bought myself a new outfit. I felt hopeful, and that should have been my warning sign. The day of the dinner, things already started going sideways. My mom texted asking if Lily could drop by for a bit before they left. I said no, not because I hate my sister, but because I wanted one night. Just one, and my mom got weirdly quiet in her responses after that, but I brushed it off. When my parents arrived at the restaurant, the first thing I noticed was that my dad wasn't even dressed for the occasion. He looked like he'd just come from running errands. My mom gave me a quick hug, not even a full one, more like a pat. And then they said, "We have a surprise for you." My stomach dropped before I even saw her, and sure enough, there she was, Lily, smiling like she hadn't just hijacked the one thing I asked for. She said, "Happy birthday," like she hadn't ignored me for months, like she wasn't the reason my parents had missed my college award ceremony years ago, like she wasn't the reason they'd canceled multiple of my birthdays in the past, and I tried, I swear I tried, to keep my disappointment from showing. I said thank you. I sat down, I told myself to breathe, but I could already feel myself shrinking back into that childhood version of me who didn't matter as much. Throughout dinner, it was the same pattern as always. Every conversation circled back to Lily, her new job, her new apartment, her new problems. Every time I tried to say something about my life, they nodded politely before redirecting the attention back to her. And the worst part, Lily didn't even notice. She was basking in it. I felt myself fading into the background like a piece of furniture. But I told myself it's fine, it's just one night, They came for you. I clung to that thought like a lifeline. Then my phone buzzed. At first, I assumed it was a birthday message from someone else. But when I looked, it was a notification from our family group chat. My parents had texted something. I opened it under the table, and there it was. You're not our priority right now. I just stared at it. And the timestamp confirmed it. They sent it while I was sitting right in front of them. They didn't even bother whispering about me behind my back. They said it openly, like it was a fact, like it was normal. My chest tightened, and for a moment I couldn't hear anything around me. The restaurant noise faded, my sister's laugh faded, even my own breathing felt distant. I kept reading the message over and over, wondering what could possibly justify those words. And then I saw the messages above it. Lily had texted them complaining that she felt ignored at the table and asking why they were paying so much attention to me. The attention that wasn't even real. My mom responded, "Don't worry, sweetheart. You're not our priority right now." And my dad echoed it. They didn't mean it to me. They said it about me to reassure her, to coddle her, to put me back in my place. That broke something in me completely. I excused myself and went to the bathroom because I could feel tears threatening to spill, and I refused to cry in front of them. I locked myself in a stall and just sat there staring at the door. I kept asking myself, why am I even here? Why do I keep trying? Why do I keep giving them chances to hurt me? I thought about every birthday they'd missed, every school event they ignored, every time they brushed me aside, every time Lily was prioritized over me like it was some kind of natural order, and it hit me they hadn't changed. They never would. I was always going to be the afterthought, the backup plan, the background character in my own family. So that's the situation I was in, and I had to make a choice. Before I tell you what happened next, I want you to pause for a moment and really think about it. If you were sitting at that table on your birthday, knowing your parents said you didn't matter as much as your sister, what would you have done? Would you stay and pretend everything was fine? Would you confront them? Would you walk out? Comment below what you would have done in my shoes, because I genuinely want to know if I overreacted, or if this was the final straw I needed to break free. When I finally stood up from that bathroom stall, something in me had shifted. I felt strangely calm, like the storm inside me had passed and left only clarity. I walked back to the table, and none of them even noticed I'd been gone for 10 minutes. They didn't look up, didn't ask if I was okay, didn't pause the conversation. They just kept going, laughing about some story from Lily's job. And that told me everything I needed to know. I didn't sit down. Instead, I reached into my bag, pulled out the small birthday card I'd written earlier, the one I originally planned to give to my parents as a thank you for coming, and I opened it. Inside, I scribbled a message, not angry, not cruel, just honest, and I placed it on the table in front of them. My mom finally noticed and said, "What's that?" But I didn't answer. I turned and walked toward the exit. I didn't look back. They didn't even follow me immediately. My phone didn't buzz until I was already outside. And when I finally sat in my car and opened the messages, I saw a string of confused texts. Where did you go? Are you coming back? What's this supposed to mean? Then, we're still eating. Can you wait until we're done? And that one made me laugh, actually laugh, because it was so perfectly them. In the note I'd written, "Thank you for proving once again what I've tried so hard not to believe. I will never be your priority, not even on my birthday. I hope tonight makes you as happy as it made me sad. Don't worry, you won't have to prioritize me anymore. I won't ask for it again." After that night, I stopped trying. My parents tried to downplay everything at first, saying I misinterpreted their texts, that I was overreacting, that Lily didn't mean anything by it, but not once did they apologize. Not once did they acknowledge how deeply those words cut. And Lily, she texted me a single line, "You're so dramatic." That was it. So I pulled back. I stopped calling, stopped updating them, stopped trying to earn attention they never intended to give. And it shocked them, because for the first time in my life, the easy kid became the silent one. When my parents finally asked to meet up to resolve this, I told them calmly that I wasn't interested in patching something that was never whole to begin with. They tried guilt, tripping me, saying I was disrespectful, saying family comes first. And I told them, exactly, but you made it clear I don't come first, not even close. It's been months now, and my life has gotten quieter, maybe lonelier in some ways, but also healthier, more peaceful, and on my most recent birthday, I celebrated with friends who actually wanted to be there. People who asked me what I wanted, who listened, who made me feel seen. I didn't miss my parents at all. Sometimes walking away isn't dramatic. It's necessary. And sometimes the note you leave behind is the only closure you'll ever get. If you made it this far, thank you for listening to my story. Like this video if you were on my side, subscribe for more stories like this, and share your thoughts about this whole mess in the comments. I'll see you all in the next story.